What dire warning from your parents turned out to be bullshit? When I was a kid, my mom had this absolute rule about the loose pieces of dried ramen from the pack, the tiny broken bits of noodle that always ended up at the bottom of the bag after you'd pulled out the bigger blocks. She warned me over and over that if I ate those loose pieces, I would get deathly ill. It wasn't just a casual warning either. It was the kind of thing she said like it was some sort of law of nature. The thing was, I didn't buy it. The loose pieces were everywhere, and I'd sneak them into my mouth all the time. They tasted the same as the rest of the noodles, just crunchy and a little bland, and nothing ever happened. No stomach aches, no sickness, no weird allergic reactions. Just nothing. I figured my mom was making it up to keep me from eating too much junk food, or maybe to stop me from messing with the packaging. I kept doing it anyway. When she wasn't looking, I'd grab a handful of those tiny noodle crumbs and munch away. No consequences. This went on for years. Every time I got caught eating those little broken bits, my mom would sigh and say, "I warned you, that stuff will make you sick." And I'd just roll my eyes, shrug, and continue doing it behind her back. Fast forward to my teenage years, and one day we were sitting around the kitchen table eating dinner. Somehow the topic of ramen came up, probably because I was having a pack of instant noodles for lunch or dinner like usual. My mom started up with the same old warning again, saying in this very serious tone, "You better not be eating those broken pieces of dried ramen, or you'll end up deathly ill." My dad, who had been quiet up to that point, just gave her this look. Like the kind of look where you're trying to figure out if someone is serious, or if they're joking and you're just missing the joke. He blinked a couple of times and then said, "Wait, what are you talking about?" My mom froze for a second, and then went quiet. The kind of quiet where you know, you just got called out and you don't really have a defense. Apparently, my dad had never heard this warning before. He looked at me, then back at my mom and said, "You're telling me this whole time you've been warning him that eating the broken noodles will make him sick? Where'd you even get that from?" My mom shrugged like it was just something she believed, a caution passed down maybe from her own mom or some old wives' tale she'd picked up somewhere. But the way she said it made it sound like it was gospel. Dad laughed and said, "Well, I've eaten those broken bits plenty of times growing up, and I'm still standing." After that, the whole thing kind of became a joke between us. I kept teasing my mom about how she'd been trying to scare me away from harmless noodle crumbs for years. My siblings got wind of it and started calling those little broken noodles Mom's deadly ramen bits, which only made her more annoyed. But no matter how much ribbing she got, she never really admitted she was wrong. She just shrugged and said she was trying to keep me safe. I guess in her mind, it was better to be cautious, even if it meant inventing a pretty ridiculous consequence. Looking back, it's funny how these little family myths stick around, passed down like some secret knowledge that's supposed to protect you, but really just ends up being kind of silly. The whole thing with the broken ramen pieces became one of those small family stories we laugh about now, just a weird warning that turned out to be complete nonsense. So yeah, eating those loose pieces of dried ramen never made me sick. Turns out my mom's dire warning was just a big old myth.